to the channel. I hope you guys have all been very well, and it's really good to see your smiling faces back yet again. So within this video, I'm going to speak about a discussion or a meeting I had with a mortgage broker who's actually helped myself and Aretha get our first investment property up in Coffs Harbour. And just that discussion, or where the meeting went, it was really good. It was actually a really good insight to provide you guys, business owners out there, on the shift and the pivot needed moving into 2020. So just provide a bit of context, this mortgage broker, he's been doing business for 20 years, so he's done well, he's got the lifestyle that he wants, his family's well set up, and he's looking at possibly, changing, shifting. He's understanding that his marketplace, or that his audience set, is sort of shifting away from what he's been doing over the last 20 years. So before, he'd be leveraging off networking groups like BNI, referrals, word of mouth, someone within his close-knit community. He's been able to, again, build that lifestyle, do quite well on all the beaches here. But he knows that moving forward, if he wants to continuously move his business and to attain that lifestyle that he's got, he needs to shift. And asking him the question about, who's your ideal client? Like, where do they sit? What's the age demographic? Where are they? And quite honestly, he says, well, they're actually on social media. So between the age bracket of 25 and 35 and above, we actually become adults at that age. So we're looking more to the future. We're looking more at investment properties, first homes, just being able to set ourselves up. He understands that his ideal market is actually residing on social media. So with his current presence, he hasn't really spent too much, or actually, I'm going to pause it here because I completely forgot about a fundamental piece of the conversation I had with him, where we were actually comparing and contrasting the traditional forms of advertising versus, what we have at our disposal with social media now. So we went down the path of, realizing that he'd spent X amount of money, I believe it was thousands of dollars, on, putting himself in certain magazines or in certain newspapers and having, a certain portion of real estate on that newspaper. And, every time he spoke to the person that I guess was selling it to him, asking him for some metrics and some analytics, they couldn't really give him anything because, again, there was nothing to provide. So when I asked him the question, hey, so what did you get from it? What was the return on investment? What was the feedback? And he goes, absolutely zero, nothing. I got nothing back. And at that time I was like, wow, that's so, that's all they had at the point in time. There wasn't really anything that you can do other than invest in a TV ad, a newspaper ad, radio ad, billboards, magazines, newspapers. But again, as we went through just, I guess, the fundamentals of social media and being able to get metrics real time, then, he was really, I guess, even more just invested in terms of wanting to build his presence online. So again, that was something that I completely forgot, but yeah, hopefully this sort of plugs that hole in there and gives you guys a bit more context on, traditional forms versus what we have now. Anyway, guys, back to the video. By the way, how good's that mug on that screen? Really attractive. He doesn't have a digital marketing strategy in place at the moment. He knows and he realizes that if he needs to be in front of his demographic, he needs to shift his online presence. So what we've been able to do is just to give him a couple of strategies that works and just get him out there to really present himself well in 2020. Now, yes, there's a lot more things that we can do in terms of just the targeting and the nuances where we really get in front of people who are, as an example, looking for an investment property. But again, the conversation led to just creating that awareness that, this is where he was beforehand and this is what he was doing, BNI, networking groups, referrals, and he knows that the majority of his audience moving forward just live, eat, sleep on social media. So if you can be a business owner and understand that there's a shift in change and leverage social media, and it doesn't have to be so extravagant, it doesn't have to be big, just make sure you're on the biggest platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn as well, YouTube. Again, it just sets yourself up to create that resonance between people our age who are, again, unfortunately living on that device there. But if he's able to see it and if he's able to understand the importance of how he should be positioning himself in 2020, then the question is out to you guys as to why, you're sort of hesitant. Maybe it's too scary to be able to understand and leverage, but just know that things are moving down that way. You want to be a part of it, because those who don't, they get left behind. And that being said as well, what we've found and what we've realized that within the Sydney or even Australia, we're very slow adopters. So when it comes to strategies that we put out there, they're at least 12, 18, 24 months behind the likes of London, New York, Dubai, so on and so forth. And although the internet's been able to bridge that gap a little bit, we can see it's a lot more conservative here. So again, that's ultimately what I'm saying. But if you're able to leverage this and get in front of the pack or get in front of your competition and start to create that dominance or that presence online and become the authority within the marketplace, then you're going to have a lot better time down the track than when you're having to grab or try and grab when you're trying to attain market share when someone else who probably has a subpar product to you has already taken that space. Anyway, that's my thoughts and that's my conversation I had with this mortgage broker. Hopefully, we can continue helping him and building his business up within the digital space. He's a quirky guy as well, really, really good person. So why not, showcase a bit of that too. Hope this video was of value. And again, be sure to comment down below if you guys do have any ideas or any comments around this video or other videos. But also if you do like it, you know what to do. And most importantly, subscribe if you want more content just like this one. Anyway, I am about to jump into a meeting. What's the time? Oh, it's in 45 minutes, but yeah, got a meeting with someone who I went to a business seminar with before. He's a business coach, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing how we can help enable his business and move that forward on the online space. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and no doubt I'll speak to you guys very soon. Peace.